Well, hey there, everybody. I I didn't set an alarm this time when I was taking my nap. So, how are you, Mr. Alistor? Welcome back to Techie Talk Stream with your boy Taku. It's me. Welcome in, welcome in. So, I made a little mistake. I intended to just take a little short nap. Welcome back to A as well. How are you, A? Welcome back, welcome back. I made a mistake. I may have accidentally taken my normal nap without setting an alarm. So that's why I'm late today. But I was also thinking about like, oh, what do we do? What shall we do? And ultimately, I was like, I want to continue Oxygen Not Included. So, admittedly, we may be very close to death. I don't know quite yet, but we are about to find out whether or not this colony is sustainable. Now, let me also say that if we die, we die. I've been thinking about, I'm going to keep this pause for a second while I know we were on the brink of death last time, so I'm going to think about this real quick, but I've actually kind of... I came to realize something this morning when I was thinking about it. But A says, we ball. We will. We will. Even if this explodes in my face, it's not the end of the world. Because the only thing in here that I would actually kind of feel bad about losing is this. I think this is kind of smart, but outside of this, I mean... I kind of came to a realization a moment earlier today. I came to realize that I might be able to fix this problem. So right now, well, I guess this is the problem. I shouldn't be pointing at this and calling this the problem. So this is the problem. A lot of my stuff relies on the idea that I'm always pumping water, right? And I got a little bit carried away because I was thinking to myself, like, how can I, fix the... I got a little carried away with other things, and I was like, how can I heat the water? How can I cool it down on its way to get through the pipes and whatnot? And in that process, I kind of created a situation in which, a lot of my crops weren't being watered, and the pressure wasn't quite right. And the reality of it is that I actually don't need this. This is a power draw right here. So if you look at 240, right? Constantly going to power this liquid pump. Now, I was thinking about it this morning, and I kind of came to the realization that if I was using a liquid reservoir, which I was previous to putting it in the vat, if I was using a liquid reservoir, it pumps in and out on its own without using power. So I guess my thought is that, and then on top of that, I don't have to worry about the water leaking everywhere, right? So I guess after that, I was thinking to myself, well, if I can store it safely, then why not do so? I can store it safely, I can keep track of it, and I can pull whatever I need from it without having to worry about whether or not I have power. And I also don't need to be expending power as I'm trying to use it. So, ultimately, I think going forward, I might get rid of this. I'm going to keep it for now until things are stable, assuming that we live. But going forward, under the assumption this colony lives, or if we have to make a new colony, I think I'm not going to do this anymore. Because trying to make sure it doesn't get contaminated like this is a huge pain. And then on top of that, It's a needless power draw. Now, I guess the question becomes after that, how am I going to be able to make sure that I have sterile water on the way to wherever it's going? I don't know what that looks like yet. Welcome in, Mr. Happy. I don't really know what that looks like just yet, but my thought is that as long as it's sustainable, I don't think it really matters, to be honest. As long as we can make it work, so. But Happy's in the middle of something, gonna lurk for a bit, no worries. Hope you enjoy your lurk. Power for the moment is the cola generators located at the top. So if you look at the power overlay, the other problem right now is like power. This is like a massive power draw that I didn't really think about. And I understand, you know, one electrolyzer and then, oh no, what's the point of, well, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, honestly, this room might not be necessary. I think I'm gonna leave this like not powered for now. Because this is kind of useless at the moment. If I have a means of getting like more sustainable power through solar or something like that, then I can leave this space open to be used later. But ultimately, if I were to simply not use this at all, the oxygen would find its way up anyways. So this is kind of thinking more critically about it. This is kind of useless. It's not like it has a purpose, but the power, the benefits are not as great as the downsides. The downside is that I'm expending power that I can't afford. So the purpose of the layout, you can kind of see that, well, in an ideal world, it's not working right now, but in an ideal world, so the carbon skimmer and the power transformer, well, the carbon skimmer down here, right? The intention of the carbon skimmer is to kind of settle at the lowest point of the base and then kind of build upwards. So all the carbon is intended to flow down here where it's going to get sucked back up, and then, you know, the carbon flows down here, the carbon gets sucked out, and oxygen hypothetically kind of takes its place, right? Or at least the carbon gets sucked out, right? The electrolyzer located above that, it's not plugged in right now because we don't have enough power, but the electrolyzer is meant to pump air above the carbon skimmer. This good air is then going to go up into the gas pumps here. It's going to get sucked out. Just these filters are used specifically to take the oxygen out of the air. So if you were to look at the ventilation overlay, so the gas pumps will go into the gas filter. It'll filter out the oxygen is yellow. So the oxygen is meant to go to all 4 sectors. I wasn't really sure where to put the pipes yet, so this isn't like a final location, but this is a proof of concept, right? Welcome into Brave. How are you, Mr. Brave? I'm explaining the base before I continue, but the idea is that oxygen gets pumped into all 4 sectors, and then all 4 sectors are going to be fully sealed off, right? And become their own sectors, right? And after that, whatever is left of this is likely going to be hydrogen, right? So then the hydrogen gets put out of these gas vents here. And the hydrogen's going to be sucked up by this, filter out only the hydrogen, it runs the generator. And then whatever's not hydrogen gets just put out into the middle, right? So that was the purpose of the 4 pumps, is to power, or to give oxygen to all 4 sectors. The problem is that, I mean, I was saying this earlier, I'm explaining the base to Alistor Brave, but the purpose of this room was to give oxygen to all 4 sectors, it's not a very good implementation because while in concept this works, it has a massive power draw that I didn't think about. And if you got no power, you can't run the liquid pump, and well, this is just a, you know, massive amount of power that we really don't need to be using. Because ultimately, if I were to make it in such a way that I never use this, if I were to just get rid of this room entirely, like all these pipes and this gas pump and whatnot, I could just have it so that the electrolyzer moves air up here, and then it gets the hydrogen gets sucked out and used, and then the oxygen just makes its way out somewhere. That would have made more sense. Ultimately, that's not what I did, but that would have made a lot more sense than whatever I'm doing. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So 2 air pumps will fill 1 vent pipe, so you could cut out 2 filters, which would help. Actually, that's kind of... it's kind of smart, actually. Well, we'll think about that later. But not a bad idea by any means. Thank you, Mr. Alistor. I think what I'll do for now, I'm gonna get rid of this. This is all under the assumption that we live. We have, you know, barely any calories to sustain us. But under the assumption that we live, I'm gonna be dismantling this. I'm gonna rethink this. The way it is right now is a little not necessary. If I were to pump oxygen in the center and I just move it around it would ultimately accomplish the same thing, so that's, you know, it's a little redundant to explicitly waste power by moving it. It would move itself, you know, so I don't really need to worry about that. And then the other thing I was saying, Brave, was I was gonna move. I was telling this to Alistor already, but the liquid reservoir, the other problem I identified this morning when I was thinking about it, is that the liquid pump is pumping out water that I really... well, the liquid pump uses electricity, right? But if I was to put everything inside a liquid reservoir, it pumps in and out without using electricity. And in that way, I could store it and siphon out of it without having to worry about whether or not I have power. And I think that would be a lot more power efficient, and space efficient, it's probably the same thing, but when it comes to power efficient, if I were to use the reservoir instead, that'd be fine. The matter of sterilizing it becomes its own issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, but Alistor says, would you like my 2 cents about this carbon skimmer? Maybe. Brave says, how about just having 1 pump and branches the pipe to 4 sectors instead? Yeah, that could work too. I guess that would also be more efficient. I think right now, because of the way it is, it's... if I was to get rid of all these and just use this to get the oxygen out, it would kind of amount to the same thing right now. If I were to make these airtight, which was kind of the original intention, then I would need to do so. But right now, I think it's okay. But Alistor says more, or Brave says Alistor more savvy for pipes than me. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Also an option, depending on oxygen needs, eventually would be the issue. And if not, no biggie. And let me show you my mad spam. It's hysterical. Okay, hold on. Let me think for a second before we continue. Right now, we're kind of in survival mode. so I'm gonna try my best to... And I know what we were saying about the, like, oh, the farm station doesn't work with the mealwood. I'll fix that later. Right now, I need food, so it doesn't really matter right now. Right now, I need food, and we need a way to make it, so... and I think we need to have somebody prioritize... Is the micro musher considered cooking? It's gotta be, right? So then let's... not skills, let's, yes? Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna have someone... Oh! Higby is already set to prioritize cooking, but... Well... I guess it is a new day for Mr. Higby. But... It's kind of like he's almost like sweeping. So the other problem... I gotta check the priorities, but... Right now, having power is the most important, and having food is the most important as well. This is a long trip for the water. Damn. And the oxygen is getting there, but not very quickly, admittedly, but the oxygen is getting there. Slowly. I think I could re-enable this one, though. I think that'll be okay. Combat. Damn. Oh. That hatchling eat the meat. Please be food in here. Just take the beacon, I guess. I don't know. We already have everything else. That can just go down here. So. A little bit of food. Man, it is stressful right now, man. This is stressful. No seed available. Oh shoot. I need to stop doing the... Stop making the treats. For now. And then we can put seeds in there. Okay, well, it's not quite over yet. So that's good. Stressful for sure. Honestly, I should probably knock that out. I'm thinking I'll probably just move it. This is so stupid, but I'll probably just move it back. Actually, you know, I have a better idea. Let's move it all to the bottom, and then I'm gonna pump it down here, so that way these... I'm gonna move the reservoirs, is what I'm trying to say. That way, we can utilize the space to store the reservoirs instead. And I think that would make... I think that makes a little more sense, personally. So these are 3 high, so we'll focus on making it that way. So this is more for my reference than anything else, but I guess we'll do here, 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 and then I guess it's about the perfect height. Well, no, it's not. 3, 3, 3, 3. And then I think if I had to redo everything, I'd probably give them... I would have done the insulated tiles a lot earlier if I if I had the ability to redo this, all this stuff. Would have made a little more sense, but alas. Okay. We've got some good calories going. Still not really an ideal living situation, but things are getting done, and I think that's the most important thing for me right now. I think the other thing I'd want to think about is how I'm going to go about getting rid of the, or how I would go about sterilizing the water as I pull it out. That's going to be a bridge we'll cross later. I don't know how I'm going to fix that right now, but we'll cross that bridge later. I'm not gonna think about that right now. That should be good. Ah, shoot. Damn it. Well, I mean, I guess we can use the water, so it's not that big a deal. Here's what I shall do. So, let's set this as a priority, because I want to get this done, and then we'll... Oh, shoot, wait. How big is this? I guess here would be fine. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. And then I'll... I guess that's not really a big priority, though. We'll make it priority 8, I guess. Not... Priority 7, it's really not that important. It is important, but it's not as important as, well, trying to stay alive, so... Mine is most urgent. Okay. So once this mealwood is going, I think we'll be doing a lot better for ourselves. Ideally, down here we would be growing bristle blossom, and in a perfect world, we'd be growing bristle blossom. But that requires power, and I don't really have the infrastructure to be dealing with that right now, so I'm not going to be doing that. Okay. So now that these appear to be empty, right? What we're going to do is we are going to change this in such a way that ideally we'd pump the water out of that. I actually just realized a flaw with my design. Because we'd have to have an inlet and an in and an out, right? So... Actually, it can go through the wall. What am I talking about? It literally doesn't matter. It can go through the wall. So... It's fine. That's not worth worrying about. So... I'm going to connect these temporarily. In my ideal utopia. Screwed up. That doesn't make sense. Ah! No! Screwing up my count. So... It would be flush against the wall, ideally. So it'd be like that. And then we'd have to take out the ladder in the middle. Because the ladder was a temporary thing. I didn't mean for that to become like as permanent as it is. So we'll have to fix that later. And then we'll just deconstruct all this. Oh, hold on. So yeah, we'll deconstruct all that and then we'll try something else. Brainstorm and stream. Brainstorm and streams are best streams. Dude, my brain has actually been like pretty good today. Usually I'm just like cooked, man. Like my brain is not on, but today my brain has been like just firing, man. Mentally stimulated. I've got thoughts in my head. You know, things are looking kind of good. I don't know if that was that smart? It'll be fine. The pressure is probably going to stay about the same. But yeah, usually my brain is kind of fried, but today I've been like, oh, you know, thinking. I've been thinking, I've been hanging out, and, you know, I've had so much stuff to do today, like, and in, like, a good way in that I was just, like, constantly thinking, you know? But Alistair says I won't backseat stream a little while. No, I understand the urge to say stuff. I feel that same way when I watch people play like Metal Gear or something. I'm like, I get it. This makes sense to me. I understand the crash out. Let me sweep this. Sweep that. Alistor says, the only urge is to help, but I ain't stepping on your learning process toes. Thank you, Alistor. Thank you, thank you. But I really do think that a large portion of the fun of this game is just, you know, making your own mistakes. Even if the mistakes can be a little, well, silly. I do enjoy the room to grow. You know? Also, it's gotta be hot over there, huh? Yeah. It's getting pretty hot. It is getting hot. Also, I'm gonna prioritize that so that it's... This needs to be closed off before it leaks around, so... Let's get that closed off. Okay, so, you know, it's going pretty good. Right. I made a mistake. I didn't realize that the middle was not done. So, I'm really just... This is so stupid. Hold on. I didn't realize the middle wasn't done. I'm like telling them to finish sealing it off and it's not done. Crazy. But Brave says there's people that backseat on Metal Gear. What? Well, I don't know. It kind of depends what they're doing, I guess. Like, I, for one, I love Metal Gear. It's really hard to find somebody, like, I'm interested in watching playing Metal Gear. The last person I can think of was Miyu. So Miyu was playing... Well, we met Miyu through Metal Gear, so... But, that was the last interesting person I can think of playing Metal Gear. Let me get this bottle drainer going. I think I'll connect it like that. This shouldn't screw anything up. That should be fine. Alistor says, I want a pro to come in and join your stream and be like, I've never seen XYZ before. I like to... The other thing is that if I know what the solution is, I'm never going to think outside the box for what I could potentially do, which I think can be a little limiting in its own way. So I think ultimately finding... Oh, shoot, wait. I should wait for them to finish this first. Damn it. I think ultimately finding creative solutions to problems is for my benefit. Brave says, yeah, you'd be playing like I haven't watched an Oni tutorial or read some wikis. Well, if I do things conventionally, what's the fun in that, you know? If I never struggle with the oxygen and just, like, I know exactly how to fix the problem immediately, then, you know, what's the fun in playing or watching, you know? I feel like it would get kind of boring, personally. But what would be the fun in that? I think we are kind of stable at the moment. I'd like to think we're stable. Yeah, we're climbing right now, so that's good. Still not a big fan of the coal generators, but we'll figure that out later. Right now, people are alive. It's stable. So I think we're good for a sec. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. In an ideal world, I would get rid of that. So, I actually have a question. This is non-rhetorical. So, the power transformers, right? Let's say that I'm gonna put this somewhere where they can't reach it so that they don't actually build it, but let's say hypothetically, right? I had a battery, right? Let's say I have a battery and I have a power transformer attached to the battery, right? If I were to do this, let's just pretend that the battery's charged. Does this consume power? I understand that the battery loses charge on its own, but does it... Because you know how it says, like... You know how it says down here, like, 1,000? Transformers do not consume? Thank you, thank you. Okay. Alsor says, I don't think so. Thank you, thank you. Okay. I wasn't sure whether or not this was... Like, I know this is kind of a heat problem, though. Like, I know it's a heat problem, but aside from the heat problem, I wanted to know whether or not it actually, like, takes electricity. I mean, I know that, like, if you're actually using it, then that makes sense, but I wasn't sure. But anyways, okay, excellent. Excellent, excellent. But how much should I say about Transformers? Oh, just to re-preface the stream, please no hints, tips, backseating, or spoilers. Unless I explicitly ask. I'm trying to make my own mistakes. But I think I understand enough. At least I'd like to think so. So I like to think. But that's an internal battery kind of thing. Battery power leaks a bit. Transformer itself is a battery. Okay. Interesting. Wait a second, hold on. Is this even... No, this is going. This is going. It's not going as fast as I'd like it to, but... This is the purpose I was trying to do, so this is fine. Okay. So... That's... working for now. I think in an ideal world, I'd reconnect this, and then I'd stop using the oxygen diffusers. But I think we're pretty stable right now. I think I'll do that for... Well, I have to eat dinner. Is that even smart? To do it right now. Kind of feel like it isn't, but there's a tip in game for Transformers and power overlay. Thank you, thank you. Limits power flowing through the transformer to 1000 watts. Connect batteries on the large side to act as a valve and prevent wires from drawing more than 1000. What? The large side to act as a valve. I don't know what it means by a valve, but prevent wires from drawing more than... Wait, hold on. Let me think about that. That doesn't make sense to me. Can be rotated before construction. Limiting the power drawn by wires prevents them from incurring overload damage. The battery thing I don't understand, but... Where's my... Because I understand that... My thought is that I want to use the small wires where I can, just for the sake of saving my copper. So for that purpose, I could use a power transformer, and then I could use the wires connected to the power transformer to limit the amount of stuff that's on here. I don't know. Anyways, alright. I think we're stable enough. I gotta grab my dinner real quick. There's something I'm forgetting. We're pretty good right about now. I'll just have them wrap this up real quick, and then we should be good. And then I can wall that off. Okay. Good. Good. I don't know where they're gonna put that, though. Oh. Yeah, let's move... Sweep task, and... Polluted... Oops. Polluted water is priority. I want to move that so that I can close this off. Okay, anyways, I'll be right back. Alright, fellas. I'm back. I haven't sat down yet, but close my blinds. Here we go. Alright, so I gotta tell you. I have been stressing, man. And not like, it's not super bad. So maybe it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret. I'll let you guys in on a little something something. A little juicy Taku IRL. Very juicy. There is, as it stands, there is a pretty high likelihood that I will be obtaining a dog very soon. However, I have not owned a dog before. I have spent most of my life afraid of dogs. So I don't know how to act around a dog, and I don't know, like, I don't know how to train a dog. I don't really know how to act around a dog. I don't know how to care for a dog. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Taku, why are you getting a dog? I am and I'm not. So it's my family's idea. So my family wants to get a dog. Like, my mom knows how to take care of animals. I personally don't. So there's people in my family that know how to. I personally do not. And I think that that's kind of my concern, is that, well, I mean, you gotta learn somewhere. You know, you gotta start somewhere. But my concern is with, not knowing. I don't know how to... Oops, wait, cancel that. I don't know how to take care of a dog, and I'm gonna be responsible for a few things every day. I'm gonna have to, or not every day, but like 3 times a week. I'm gonna have to brush the dog's teeth. I'm gonna have to be in charge of taking it out to use the bathroom and whatnot. And I think it's kind of I think of all the things relating to the dog, I think that my biggest concern is the bathroom situation. Because it's not exactly gonna be easy for me to simply just, you know, like, it's not gonna be easy to take the dog outside all the time, you know, because it's gonna be like, what? Assuming the dog lives for like 10 years minimum, then that's, you know, every 4 hours I take the dog out to piss for the next 10 years. And it's making me kind of like, it's gonna be a lot of my free time, cumulatively, to be taking the dog out. Not super great in that respect. I don't know. Maybe I might just be overthinking it, but I am a bit well, worried, to say the least. So honestly, it could be fine, but I am a little concerned. So, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But Brave says, you're gonna love the dog. You can jog with the dog. Alistor says, I'll give you mine. Well, The dog is going to be... I don't want to say the exact breed quite yet, but the dog is going to be on the smaller side. So it's not exactly going to be like a big dog that I can run with. It's going to be pretty small. You know? And since it's going to be so small, I could go for like a walk, I guess. But I'm not really much of a walker. Like, if I'm walking with somebody, that's fine. But if I'm by myself, it's just kind of mind-numbing. And I need the mental stimulation of knowing that I'm getting somewhere faster than walking. So, I wouldn't really want to walk the dog. I'd want to run. If anything, I'd want to run with the dog, but the dog breed is not one such that it could keep up with me as I run for an hour, you know. But anyway, Alistair says, we left the house the other day, and we kennel our dog at night, and when we aren't home, she somehow got my son's a blanket he has had since before he was born, and tore a huge hole in it, and it's $60 to get a new one to our house. Yikes. See, and no, I guess the thing about dogs is that I don't know how to communicate with a dog. Like, how do you tell a dog, like, how do you convey to a dog more complex orders, you know? So, like, I'm thinking of, for example, I'm thinking of, actually, wait, let me stop them from getting mush bars. Let me stop that. This should be fine. We can lie slow, but let's not, we don't need the mush bar. So, Alistair says she also has a blanket in her kennel and has for 6 months and has yet to tear it up, but will destroy a Kong indestructible dog bed. So, the dog that my family's planning to get is more of like an indoor breed. So, it can't be outside. You know, for starters, it can't be outside. But, actually, wait, sorry. Let me stop all this oxygen generation. This is a bit redundant at this point. And then I guess we'll... Priority 9. Okay. Anyways. You guys have a pit. Yeah. Like, ours is more of a indoor. Indoor and not very, like, hyper, I guess. What should I guess I'll plug in the top one first. Well, they can go at the same time. It's fine. Taku's getting a pug. Well, it's not a pug, but that's as far as I'll say. But Brave says the pets come with the destruction of some. I have a cat, and the scratches it made to some of the leather chairs. I think me and my family are more like, excuse me. I think for our lifestyles, a cat makes the most sense, but we're not. My family's allergic to cats, so I'm lightly allergic. My eyes get a little itchy, but that's about it. It's nothing too serious, but my eyes do get a little itchy. So I heard this down here. Anyways. But yeah, we're gonna have to get a... I don't remember what I was saying already. It's fine. But Alistor says, not a fan of cats myself. We had one for a while. I think I'm inclined towards cats because they kind of, as I understand, they'll kind of like show up and show you affection sometimes, but they're not very needy, and for the most part they'll take care of themselves, you know? At least that's what I think. And in that way, I do like cats for that reason, you know? I would prefer to just have something that practically takes care of itself. But I'm gonna try to get rid of these. Actually, let's just disable the... Let's disable the oxygen stuff for now. Deconstruct all these. Ew. But yeah, we'll deconstruct all those, and then we'll... Should be set for a while. In terms of oxygen, I think we're fine. Honestly, this is kind of stupid, though. This power transformer, it's kind of dumb. This is working, though. This is how I intended things to be. Well, minus the gas, but... Okay. And then let's... Now that we're not in emergency mode anymore, let's... Well, let's down the priority for these, because it's just not necessary to have them so high priority, and then we'll just disable these buildings. I don't want to use up my coal for no reason, so... And I also don't want to become too reliant on it. So my main concern with the dog is, well... is the bathroom thing, and I don't know... I don't really know how smart dogs are, and how to convey more complex instructions. Like, so, for example, in an ideal world, I would like the dog to ring a bell to be asked to be let out to use the bathroom. And my mom was saying that when she had a dog when she was young, she had taught the dog to ring the bell whenever it needs to use the bathroom. But I guess my question is, like, you know, how would you convey to a dog, like, that this is only if you need to use the bathroom, not like, oh, I want to go outside, you know? Shouldn't be for outside, it should be, you're using the bathroom, we'll head outside. That's one thing. And then in the middle of the night, I don't want it to ring the bell. I would rather it, like, go to a designated pee spot in the house. But then, my question becomes, like, how would I go about doing that? You know? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but... How would I go about telling the dog, like, I need you to, you know, not wake me up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom? But Alistor says you get on all fours, ring the bell yourself, then crawl outside and hike your leg. My dog's gonna think I'm the weird one after that. Well, Brave says, won't your mom teach stuff instead, then? I guess... I don't know, it's gonna be, like... It's one of those things where the dog is not 100% my responsibility, but it is still greatly my responsibility. And in that way, I'm like, I gotta understand what the plan is for training the dog, and then I have to think about how how to ensure the training sticks and not, like, undo some learning, you know? So, Alistor says you should get one of those programmable buttons that have been going crazy on TikTok with their dogs. You know, I think I've seen something about that. It does seem like a very interesting concept, I will say. I mean, I don't know the overall effectiveness of it, but I would imagine that it's pretty effective. Sounds cool to me, at least. But yeah, we'll... Excuse me. We'll see. I'm not quite sure just yet, but we'll see. Also, everything in this game is taking a long time lately, huh? Actually, all the bathrooms are backed up. Damn it. Oh wait, no, I can actually... I forgot I had this going. I could have just... Yeah. Let's do that, actually. Let's, Ah, shoot. I don't want to use this, though. Need to deconstruct that. Tonight's dinner is curry, by the way. If anyone was interested. If anyone was interested in that little bit of trivia, tonight's dinner is curry. Which means that I'm going to be clearing my throat for the next long while. Let's get rid of all that. Alistor says there's one dog that broke the Guinness World Record for something with those buttons. It can use 20 buttons in a sentence or something crazy. Interesting. Okay. Dude, I wish I could make curry. Curry's not... It's not too bad. I mean, not to say that it's easy by any means, but it's not too bad. At least I think. It's not too bad. Ah, shoot, wait. But then... Hold on. Oh, it's finished already. All of this is kind of whack right now. It's all kind of... I thought I said to disable this building. Maybe if I just deconstruct it. We're looking fine right now, so... It should be okay. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Right, yes. Indeed. Indubitably. Okay, and the pressure in here is not too bad. Okay, well. Is this what stability looks like? Have we finally reached stability? It has become salvageable once again. Amazing. Truly. Truly amazing. Oops. Oh wait, so... I forgot about this. The algae terrarium can go then. I made a mistake. I've kind of grown numb to seeing the algae terrariums. I didn't realize that was also a temporary structure. Okay. Plumbing overlays looking pretty good. I can fix this later, but... Okay, and then what else did I need to get done? So, in terms of temperature, I'm glad this is sealed off. It could be sealed a little better, but what can you do? The massage table is not necessary anymore, so I think I'm gonna deconstruct that. Well, it's necessary, but the spot I put it in was temporary. I didn't intend for that to be like a permanent spot, so we can get rid of that. I think in an ideal world it goes over here somewhere, but... and then I think ideally there's enough air to go around in an ideal world, so having an airflow tile here would, I think, be kind of useful. Maybe not the most efficient use of copper, but overall I think this is for the best, you know. So, and then also in a perfect world it wouldn't be that hot over here, so, well, it is, don't mind that, but in a perfect world it wouldn't be so hot. Actually, yeah, why is it so hot over here? Well, you know, once we clear out the area, this should fix itself, so we'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's fine. We could also just tunnel our way into this thing here, and then we should be fine. Ah, yes, never mind. Steam vent. That's probably part of our problem. Very interesting. Good old glorious steam vent, I see. We'll dig all that out. Okay. See, we're doing pretty well, I think. Doing pretty well today. They actually built a tepidizer. That's crazy. Okay. If we were to have power to spare, I think it would be nice to get this water drained. So we'll also start working our way towards that then. Ah, shoot, that doesn't... This is killing me. How would we go about getting water in? Man, this is ugly, though. I can make it work, but it's going to be ugly. I don't really have a good, like, inlet. I mean, I guess anything can go through the sieve, so it doesn't really matter, right? And this is kind of like an indirect route to get to the sieve, so I'm gonna be lazy about it. It's fine. I am choosing laziness. I'm gonna put the water with the polluted water. I don't care. It's gonna save me time. Okay. And then I completely didn't realize that this was here, but I noticed this while I was talking earlier, but there is a hot tub here, which is pretty cool, but we don't really need that right now, so... So we're good on calories. What else can we make? Let's see. So I wanted to make thimble reed when I had a chance. That uses polluted water. Which is honestly kind of its own problem. Polluted water. I think I'd have to specialize a location for that. I mean, honestly, I could just do it right here. It doesn't get better. But 2 electrolyzers can run 3 hydrogen generators with some extra. What? Wait. Max pressure. Oh no, it's fine. But no, it's all good. I think I kind of like that it's collecting right now. I want this to be constantly going, so the way it is fine. I'll adjust it as I see the need. Just an FYI, thank you, Alistair. Let me think. Hold on, let me dig this out. I need room to think. There, 4 high. There. Okay, things are getting done. Slowly but surely, things are getting done. We got good calories going, we got a good oxygen supply going. The temperature is not too bad right now. This is a little redundant, though, I will say. Like, I really don't need to be doing this. This power transformer is kind of stupid. Oops, wait. This is a little silly. Because ultimately, I could just heavy watt wire straight into the thing, and I don't have to worry about extra heat, so. But yes, remember to manage the heat. Thank you, Klee. /G9. Thank you, thank you. Welcome into Error, by the way. My favorite Error 404. How are you, Mr. Error? Welcome in. Yeah, so at Klee, that is how our last run ended. I wasn't managing the heat and then everybody died. Or, sorry, I guess not everybody died, but we were, I don't think everybody died. We got to a point where it was just not sustainable, though. It was just not going to work out, and then I just was like, well, cut my losses, start again, so. But yeah, things are... I'm trying my best to be a lot more temperature conscious this time. So I'm hoping things work out. This time you're looking better. Thank you, Error. I think things are going better. So far. Okay, so, no, the original issue was that I started running out of dirt. So then I got distracted by the dirt thing, and I didn't realize the temperature, and the temperature was causing my mealwood not to grow, and I also didn't have enough dirt. So I'm trying to manage dirt better this time, and I'm trying to... That's why it's in 4 sectors. So there's the industrial sector, there is the living quarter sector, there is the farming sector, and then there's the... kind of like the water sector. And then each one is walled off from each other by insulated tiles. And in that way, I'm hoping to manage the heat a little better. But right now, my current problem is too much power. The power is kind of not... The power's not great right now, so we'll see if I can fix that. And then I think this one too, I'll just connect it directly in. It just makes more sense that way. Less temperature. Less temperature problems. Also, I thought I gave the order to sweep this. Did I not? I guess I didn't. Weird. And welcome into Suma. In topic of heat management, the material you use to build stuff is very important. Thank you, Suma. Yeah, I'm trying. We'll see, though. Ah, shoot, wait. And now I don't have... I sucked out all the water from this already. That's crazy. Let's... try to get this going. And then in terms of grabbing water... I don't know. This is kind of problematic, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct these. Oh. Deconstruct these. And then the water... We'll put a bottle filler right here. At least that way they have like a designated spot to just get some water, you know? Is that smart? Nah, whatever. I don't care. It's fine. But Error says, how are you doing today, Taku? I'm doing pretty... okay. Doing okay. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too special. I had a lot of stuff to do at work today. A lot of thinking. A lot of monologuing. Because I had to explain a lot of stuff. And let me tell you, it has my brain on overdrive right now, so... I'm feeling not super awkward. Sometimes I show up, I feel really awkward, or I feel really awkward, or I don't know what to do with myself, or blah, 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 right? But today I feel pretty good. I don't feel too awkward about anything. Feeling pretty good in that regard. Right back at you. How many Alistors do you know? You're at the top of the list. Alistor is the only Alistor I know. In Alistor's defense. Alistor truly is the only Alistor I know. So, here's a thought. Wait. That doesn't make sense. Here's a thought. I'm gonna harvest... Ah, shoot, wait. I could make these a line if I wanted. Yeah, you know what? We'll just make them a line. They don't have to, but I'm just gonna do it. Oops. Whoops. Big thinking happening at the moment, right? So here's the idea, right? We are going to make another farming room, but this one instead is going to be specifically dedicated to the harvesting of thimble reeds. Thimble reeds, Mr. Taku, you say? Yes. Thimble reeds. So, hear me out. We're gonna have a bottle drainer. And this is going to be the specific... I gotta redo the way this works, but... this is going to be the specific spot that we are going to use to put polluted water into thimbleweeds. And hopefully this will be the only bottle drainer of its kind. That way, anytime there's gross water somewhere, we can mop it up, we can give the sweep command, and then they'll bring it over here, and then we can have the thimbleweeds. But Era says, that's good to hear, Taku. Yeah, tell me about it. I too have had to use my brain extra today at work. What can I say about it? I mean, there's nothing too crazy to say at the moment, I guess. I think. Also, I might be making too much food. I was trying to fix this food problem by going into food overdrive, but I actually might be making too much. I think I might clear this out. This is actually too much. This is too much food. We don't need this many. So I'm gonna dig these out. I'm gonna keep one row just in case, but I think we'll be okay. Oh, Oxyfern, nice. Well, what can I say about my day? I mean, what is happening here? Brother, what? Are you stuck? How'd you get so stuck? Poor guy, he's stuck. Nope, top priority, go save that guy. Top priority, go, go, go. There we go. Alright. You're fine. Anyways, what can I say about it? I did borderline nothing at the very start of my day. And then after that, there was a incoming task that I had to take care of. Or there was an incoming task I overheard, and then I was like, oh, I'll take care of that. And then me taking care of that task turned into a lot of, like, issues in the vicinity of that. So I was, like, kind of in the area helping somebody, and then, like, some other people needed my help. So I had a bunch of stuff I had to... a bunch of problems I had to solve today at work. And then I kind of became, like, the point man for a lot of the problems after that. So it's pretty busy. Pretty busy. And I had to explain, like, how to do stuff to a lot of people, so that also took me quite a bit of time. That did take me quite a bit of time. But alas, it's over now, so... The pressure is so low in there. I don't know why. So actually, I have another non-rhetorical question for you guys. So, what? I don't know how to phrase it, though. So, I need this. I got distracted again. Hold on. I gotta get this going. Another oxygen catastrophe, almost. Anyways. But pressure is low since oxygen has to navigate around other gases and walls. That's not quite... Oxygen has to navigate around other gases and walls. I'm not quite sure what you mean. So... Well, let's take this room here, for example, right? So if I were to have this enclosed space, right? And I was to have... If I was to have a electrolyzer, right? It's just in this spot. The pressure in the room gradually increases because the water is being converted into oxygen, right? And the oxygen gets added to the air. The addition of the oxygen causes this room to become overpressurized, right? And then eventually it causes stuff like, well, the oxygen's going to stop generating because it's not overloaded in pressure. But if I had like a steam vent in here, it would just go up and up and up until the point that it pops somebody's eardrums, right? So I understand that in, like, conceptually, right? I understand that. But where I don't understand is how it goes from that to, let me make that a priority. What I don't understand is how we go from how the pressure gets moved around the base. Like, so, what was the command again? It was like something Shift S or something? Anyways, if I could zoom out further, right? Ultimately, everything in this base is one giant box, right? So shouldn't it, in that same way, shouldn't the entire base share the same, like, almost the same air pressure? In the sense that, like, if I have like a balloon, right? All the air inside the balloon is gonna have the same air pressure, right? But things are about to get exciting soon. Oh, sorry, Alstor says I have to spend a total of $24 in books for the next semester. Dang. Is it online for free? But now I can save $3 on the $12 flash drive they want me to buy. Nice, Alistor. Good on you, man. Gas has a weight like carbon gone down, oxygen gone up. Oh, so the weight of... Hold on. So the weight of the gas has something to do with the pressure? So carbon dioxide, right? So carbon... Does it say on here what the weight of it is? Carbon dioxide is an atomically heavy chemical compound in a gaseous state. It tends to sink below gases. It doesn't really say the weight of it, though. But does the weight of the gas... It doesn't say the weights. Does the hypothetical thickness or the density of the gas contribute to the pressure? Or, so like, if carbon is the heaviest, that means that carbon is always going to have the most pressure compared to oxygen? Is that kind of how that would work? No? Is it the transfer of the gas as it moves through the cause of pressure? Anyways, but Alistor says eventually it would, but I've never seen it completely equalize. Is there like... There's no pressure thing though, right? I don't know. But apparently, Klee says that weights not listed in the game, densities are examined and put on wiki. And... unfortunately, I will have to rely on no wiki. Or at least that's the way I plan to play. Is not to rely on the wiki. Original ideas from my head only. Also, I just realized that I remember why I wasn't looking into that now. There's some kind of vent here. I can see it. But I don't know what it is, and I don't want to... I'd rather not open Pandora's box, or whatever the phrase is. I'd rather not do that right now. So, but only pressure listed is oxygen breathability. Okay. Thank you, Klee. And you can cheese it to find out. Nothing quite like a good cheese in it. Nothing quite like it. Let's, let me think about this. So let's try this. I'm going to... I should wait a little while. I want to wait for this to finish. Oh, I gotta eat my dinner. I just... my hand hit my spoon, and then I remembered I have dinner in front of me. Hold on. I'm here. I'm just muting my mic while I eat. Okay, I'm about 30% done with my dinner. Welcome into Mr. Stefan. How are you, Mr. Stefan? Alistor says, as long as you don't dig out the tile that's 2 in from the left and the second one up, it won't be set off. What are we talking about? Klee says, how far in advance should I warn of potential dangers? Alistor says, unless it's catastrophic. Yes. We'll say, unless it's catastrophic. Like, if I'm... It has to be actively, like, about to explode in my face. Like, 1 second before exploding. If it's like the geyser thing, if it's like, oh, you're about to tunnel into a geyser, you can just let it happen. That's fine. If it's like, everybody's been suffocating for the last 10 minutes, then... should probably say something. But if it's like, oh, you set it up in such a way that it's gonna, like, blow up in your face later, just, that's fine. There's no need to say anything about that, but if it's like actively, like, seconds from blowing up in my face, irreversibly, then that's the time. Generally speaking, I like to fail on my own and live with the consequences. Generally speaking. What's for dinner? It's curry for dinner. It's like a beef curry with carrots and onion and... You know, I thought there was potato in there, but I don't see any. The only downside with curry is that it kind of coats my throat. And I find that anytime I have curry on stream, I have to clear my throat a bunch. So, hoping that doesn't happen too much today, but you never know. Power grid approaching breakdown. Is it though? Wait. Oh. You know, I didn't think about that. Oh. Yeah, I see the overheat damage now. Okay, let's... I have a fix for this. I can fix that. I just... When I think of you guys watching the stream, I just think of, like, You're sitting at your computer chair, just like digging your nails into your thigh, just like, I gotta fix it! He's ruining everything! Hold on. I'm just gonna make it so the overheat temperature is different. I think in an ideal... Oh, shoot, wait. No, this... Not great to use the igneous rock, but whatever. We'll put a band-aid on the problem. For now. Not ideal, but... The band-aids make the world go round. But... I don't remember what I was saying. It's fine. Excuse me. I know Taku eats so good, I'm jealous. I will admit that I do eat pretty good. I used to not eat very well back when I lived alone, but now that I don't do that anymore, things are pretty pog, I must say. Also, I'm running out of copper. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm running out of copper. So with the temperature, I guess the next thing I should be thinking about is how to manage the temperature. Oh, this is cleared out already. Good. Good, good, good. Tutorial, building temperature. When I construct buildings, I should always take note of their overheat temperature and plan their locations accordingly. Maintaining low ambient temperatures and good ventilation in the colony will also help keeping temperatures down. The relative temperature slider tool in the temperature overlay allows me to adjust the overlay's color coding in order to highlight specific temperature ranges. If I allow buildings to exceed their overheat temperature, they begin to take damage, and if left unattended, they will break down and be unusable until repaired. Which is fine. Honestly, this might be the top. Because I know Regolith is like... That was what was at the top the last time, so... Let's see if we can make... Let's see if we can make heading up a priority. And then from there... We'll head it like as high as this. And then from there, being that it's so cold, I think I might be able to make it such that we can vent some cool air back down. Let me catch up on a few chats here. Alistor says, I made chicken and dumplings. Soup. Yeah, I've never made it before. It was pretty good. We didn't have celery or onions, but I had garlic and corn. Nice. And now I'm just like, oh man, if you do this, it'll work better. You could just do this and it fixes the issue. Yeah, but the important thing is the learning process. It's part of the fun. Alistor says, I ate super healthy mostly when I was single, but man, I had the best meal preps during the week. My favorite meal preps were spaghetti with spaghetti squash and adobo-themed chicken with loaded mashed potatoes, cheese, chicken, bowlin? What is that? And bacon. With homemade garlic bread. Nice, nice. Now, Suma says, I still don't get the no backseat tag sometimes. Some people don't even want viewers to talk about the game. If a story game or some surprise, sure, but with Oni kind of game, it's kind of weird, TBH. Well, so the reason for that is because being able to make your own mistakes is, in my opinion, it's part of the fun of playing Oxygen Not Included. It's kind of like, it's like, to me, it's like if you're playing a puzzle game and then someone tells you, like, you solve the puzzle like this. It's like, it's efficient in solving the puzzle, but it also doesn't let the player find out for themselves how they want to approach the problem, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's the best comparison I have. It's like playing a puzzle game and then having someone just tell you how to solve the puzzle. You know, it kind of takes the fun out of doing the puzzle in the first place. You know what I mean? But I mean, I understand. I definitely understand the perspective, but that's just how I feel about it. And plus, for my channel, it's largely a chatting stream anyways. So, for that reason, not a whole lot to say about Oni. But Alistor says, honestly, when I streamed Oni, it was a struggle for me with backseaters. I would play and randos would join and tell me how to do everything when I didn't ask, or when I was trying to figure it out on my own. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of tough. It's a tough balance. But Error says, you found a great recipe. How did you choose to do the dumplings? I will say my recipe has been green bell pepper since I don't have celery. It's a nice substitute, actually. Googled how to make it, saw the steps, and ignored the steps, and somehow it worked out. You know, on YouTube today, I saw a... I don't know if it was dumplings, but it was like dumplings adjacent. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But Suma says, that kind of backseat I understand, but something like just giving info is out of the line. Well, it depends on what the info is. It's like, part of the experience is making the mistake. And if you're not allowed to make the mistake, then that also kind of takes the fun out of it, you know? I mean, at least for me. It's different for each person, of course, but for me, if I know I'm gonna make a mistake prior to having made the mistake, then to me it's in that same vein of like, you know, you don't get the chance to learn about the puzzle, you know? But anyways, that's just how the channel is. It is what it is. Also, this this appears to be the top. So I think, how high do I want to go though? So I know I know atmosphere like leaks out, or the pressure leaks out of the top, but I don't know how close I want to get. I guess... Shit, what is that? Oh, that's iron. That's fine. Let's try that. And we'll hope for the best. Ah, that might be stupid, but that's fine. That ice is going to cause me problems, so I'll just take the bullpup. Era says, that's kind of the best way to do it. And Alistor says, I like fancy food and I won't be able to afford fancy food, so I spent a lot of time learning to cook decently fancy, which is funny because my wife wants like very southern cooking and not fancy food. Isn't southern cooking kind of fancy though? In its own way? In its own regard? But, Alistor says, I don't know, with Haku I normally either give little tips or ask if he wants my opinion on a topic and let him tell me what he would like to know. A great example, I asked if he wanted my 2 cents on the CO2 skimmer, and he said, not right now. Yeah, I think it's also nice to ask before the info dump as well. So it kind of gives me the choice about whether or not I want to be taking the advice into account. Or whether or not I want to learn myself. So I see streaming as more of like a way to to talk about a shared interest rather than a way to get help for what I'm trying to accomplish. I think that's also a better way to put it. I'm not trying to get help necessarily by streaming. I'm not trying to get help. I'm trying to talk about a shared interest. The shared interest in this case being oxygen not included. Wanting to talk about that as opposed to wanting to talk about how to play the game. You know. Which I guess can go for a lot of games. But Alastor says, Southern cooking is like butter and what grandma would make. Really? I mean, I guess I haven't really been to the South. Have I? Well, not really. But Error says, the Twitch community is good in a way to where you can choose to just play the game and chat with the people, or to have chat guide you through the game, to mostly to each their own. And Suma says, yeah, so viewers are going to talk about the game but can't. You can talk about the game without giving tips about the game. You know? I mean, if you're looking for... I will say, if you're looking for someone that... If you're looking to watch somebody that is looking for tips, that's not me. So... we'll just get that out of the way. If you want to give tips, there's probably better communities suited for what you're looking for. But for me specifically, it's not really my thing. So, I think that's the end of the discussion. But it's to each their own. It depends on the community. Depends on the community. I didn't finish my dinner yet. My dinner's getting cold. Hold on. I'm gonna mute my mic. Thank you to Pot. It's a D's Nuts joke. Welcome to Posum. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Much appreciated. Sorry, I'm eating my dinner right now, so I have my mic muted, but... thank you for the follow. Thank you. How are you? Welcome in. Just a second. Sorry, I'm still eating. Alright, I'm gonna take my plate to the sink, and I'll be right back. BRB. Alright. I need to stop doing that. Every time I show up and I just unmute my mic and then I just grunt my way into my chair. I need to stop doing that. Anyways, I'm back. I am back. I have returned. You guys now have my undivided attention for the rest of the stream. Unless I have to get up to use the bathroom. But for the most part, you have my undivided attention. Okay, let's see. Let me see. What is it that we should do? I think the next thing I should be focusing on. The next thing I think I should focus on would be. There we go. But yes, a new follower. Wait, did you guys? Thank you to Posum for the follow. I said thank you earlier. I don't know. Was my mic not on? My mic might have been malfunctioning or something. But yeah. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Sorry if my mic was muted. I was like food in mouth at the time. But thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And thank you for letting me know, Error. Thank you. Much appreciated, Mr. Error. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Posum. Thank you. I think we're getting pretty close. Error says, honestly, it might have been me, but yay nonetheless. Glad to have you on board, Posum. I am glad as well. Glad to have you on board. Welcome in. How art thou? Welcome in. Let's see. Right now that everything is so stable, I'm honestly, like, we're making way too much calories. We don't actually need that many calories, so I think this room will just go unutilized for now until I can figure out something better to do. But shoot. I think the thing that I should be focusing on the most right now is how to make things cooler. And I know, like, a really quick way would just be to do that thing I was doing last run, where I brought the oxygen all the way up and then back down again. But actually, now that I mention it, we have a pretty good thing going here. This is the centralized area, so what I could do... I have an idea, and this idea will take us to the end of stream. But I have the most big brain idea right now. Actually, I did not see that there. That might screw me. I did not see that at all. Interesting. Well, that puts a wrench in my plans. I don't know what that is, though. Neutronium. There's like 2 right next to each other. Honestly, I don't want to open Pandora's box right now, so we're not going to do that. I'll think of a smarter way, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not open that just yet. Alistor says, but I'm headed to bed, slowly working on the sleep schedule. It's not going well. No, just stay awake, Alistor. It's all good. Simply stay awake, my good man. What's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that could happen? You know? Surely nothing too crazy. Surely. Also, the circulation up here is not super great. It's kind of working, though. Oh, good. This is going. So let me check this. So... Oh. Oh, it's full. I didn't realize how full it was. Let's get this done, then. Interesting. So I understand that, like, oh, you're putting the fresh water with your polluted. I know. I'm well aware. But I want the water to go through the same area. I'm kind of lazy about it. I don't want to make separate piping for the stupid thing, so... Eris says, oh no, Alistor. Oh no. I mean, it is important to get good sleep, though. Good sleep is always important. Always, always. You can't function on bad sleep, you see. What do you guys think Brave is having for lunch? Right about now is Brave. I think it's Brave lunchtime. What do you guys think Brave is having for lunch? I bet Brave is taking lunch right now. But Suma says, taking a week for me to fix my sleep schedule when a new game released. Ooh, what's the... Are you referring to your work? Or is there like another game that released recently? I found out this morning we're going to have to change our plans for September. Originally, I was going to stream Dawn of War 4. But that got pushed back to December. They pushed back the release date. So we're going to have to wait until December to play that. But no, not your game. Did a new game release for you? Not your game, but has a new game that you're interested in released? The only game that I have this month is Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, the combo, and then I think Star Wars Euro Company would be really fun, but I think I'll wait until it releases to see if it has a streamer mode, and then we'll kind of go from there. If it has a streamer mode, then I think I might stream it. But if it doesn't have a streamer mode, then I don't want to mess with Disney copyright music, so if that were the case, then we're just not going to bother, but it all depends. It all depends. But Suma says for this month it is Helldivers 2 patch and Reverse 1999 new main story patch today. Nice, nice. Nikke had a main story patch as well, but nice. Helldivers 2, I'm still trying to get enough currency for the 40k war bond Because I do want it. I want it, but my pride is saying that if I buy it, then I don't know. If I buy it, then I won't feel like I've earned it. So I'm gonna grind for the super credits to get it. But man, it's taking forever to get it. It really is taking forever. Also, I'm gonna put some compost here. Well, hold on. Is it smart? I don't think that's very smart. We'll do it like this. And then I'll insulate it. And then reverse in 1999. I think I said it on stream before, but I was playing that once upon a time. I was. But I didn't get very far into it, though. I do hear the story for that game is really, really good. I got through, like, the prologue, I think. Like, I just got into, like, the lobby area. Or, like... What was it? They exist in, like, a place outside of time or something like that. And that's kind of where... That's, like, the hub for all their adventures. I got to that point, and then I kind of tapped out. Suma says the armor passive is GOAT on the new War Bond. It reduces reload time for support weapons by 30%. That is really, really good. Is that for the whole squad, or is that only like per person? That's for the squad, right? Lately, the one that I've been picking is the minor damage reduction, but that's like because I only have the standard War Bond. Oh, only you, okay. No, it's still not too bad. You know, I saw a little bit of the video today, and I saw that the melt-a-gun... I think the melt-a-gun is infinite ammo, or something. That seems kind of broken. That's just my opinion, though. I feel like in an ideal world, or, sorry, in a more balanced game, I feel like it would make more sense that the las gun is the infinite ammo. It just has an overheat, whereas the melt-a-gun would have ammunition. Oh, it's 4 max 3 shots each? Really? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. If you're talking about support, isn't there... Excuse me. Isn't there a 40k weapon from the War Bond that is infinite ammo? I thought there was. I must be misremembering. I must be misremembering. Oh, good. It's working. Excellent, excellent. My plan is working, yes. And we don't need to grow that many thimble reeds, so 5 is fine. It doesn't really matter. We still have a lot of calories, though, damn. We really don't need that many calories. Blue coral seed. Oh, we already have one, though. That's fine. I'll take it anyways. Temperature overlay. Still hot over here. Yeah, damn. It's really hot, huh? Actually, hold on. You know what? I might risk it. I might risk Pandora's box. I mean, even if this blows up in my face, it's far enough away that I don't think it really matters. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna... I'm going to open it safely. I'm choosing to open this safely, but I will be opening this. I've decided that I will be opening this just to find out what it is. That's gonna make things too complicated. I will be opening this to find out what's in it. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, that should be fine. Suma says, if you're talking about support weapon, there's one primary, one support weapon. The support have 4 mag, 3 shots each. TBH, I don't think there's a new player-friendly weapon since you have to get close to your target and zap it with the heat gun. Oh, it's not long distance? It's more like short range, the rifle? Because I know they have the pistol. They have the bolt pistol. I think it's a las gun. And then they have the bolt pistol, las gun, melt-a-gun, and then the melt-a-mine, as I understand. Oh, the ladder. I made the ladder kind of weird, but that's fine. Okay. Very short, like 2 to 3 meters short. Okay, well. I'm having flashbacks to being killed by bugs over and over again. The hardest thing for me was getting killed by the Terminids. Terminids I'm really bad at. Everything else I'm like kind of fine, but Terminids I'm really bad. Really bad at dealing with those. Oh! Okay, I'm doing something weird right now. This is fine. The way I'm doing it's weird, but this might clog stuff, but I don't care, it's fine. Actually, wait, no, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Let me think about that. Let me try this instead. Actually, wait. We'll deconstruct. Oh, wait. So, pipe, deconstruct, only pipe. And then I'll connect it a different way. I think I have a smarter way to do that. Or at the very least, a smarter temporary way to handle it. Good, good. Excellent, yes. Duplicates consume 1,000 calories per cycle. Insufficient oxygen generation. Not looking super great, but it's not too bad. On an unrelated note, my hands smell kind of weird. Yikes. Oh, you know, it's probably... Wait. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Let's try... This is kind of stupid too, but it's fine. I need the water to drain somewhere. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Perfect, yes. Okay, now things are moving. This is still kind of ugly, but... This is a temporary situation, I'll fix it later. It's It's not that great, but we'll fix it later. Okay, and it does seem like, regardless of whether it's polluted or just water, it'll go through regardless, so this is fine. That is looking just fine. And then this will take a long time to fill, so we don't have to worry about that for a while. I would like this taken care of as soon as possible. I'm trying to think of what else can even be done. So I don't see any polluted water. I mean, I guess we have this. How will we... Let me think about that. Let me think. So we still have the pitcher pump. So the pitcher pump allows duplicants to bottle and deliver liquids from place to place. Liquid available polluted water. If enabled, duplicants can deliver bottled liquids to this directly from these sources. I want to test something. I want to see if I enable auto bottle and the pitcher pump has access to polluted water. Then hypothetically, they should... I want to see what happens if I make that high priority. Let me just watch this. Oh, they already had a bottle. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and while that's going, let's see. Insulated door. I think ideally these would all have insulated doors, but problem for later. And then the germs are everywhere as well. I don't know, man. I want this weekend to be here, man. I'm excited for my weekend. But alas, it's so far away. Going back to that thing, what the hell is that? Oh, never mind. Going back to that thing I was saying earlier about getting a dog later this month. I'm so nervous about it, man. Every single time I think about... Every single time I remember that a dog is coming, I get so, like, antsy. I'm so worried about how that's gonna go. Because that could really just go any way, you know. It could be a disaster. It could be the case that nothing is ever clean ever again. So it's definite about the dog. It's pretty definite. I'd say it's like 99%. I think if there's like a last second objection, then it won't happen. But assuming that there is no objection, then things should be golden. But I'm not entirely sure right now. My other thought is that there's a lot of things that can go wrong in the process. Someone could raise a last-minute objection and we ultimately don't get the dog. Or maybe we get there to pick up the dog and then the breeder is like, here's your dog, but it's really not the one that was advertised. I can also see that being another problem if we don't get the dog that was advertised. So, I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways. This pitcher pump is empty. This could go a lot of different ways. I'm not really sure just yet how it's going to go. But I am still really nervous about the dog, you know. About having to train it. I think if I was in a different living situation, I'd be more comfortable with a dog. But I think I'd have to like live on a ranch or something. If I lived on a ranch, I'd definitely be like, oh yeah, let's get a dog. Perfect. But since I don't live on a ranch, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Or rather, it'll be a little more of an undertaking. So, we'll see. We shall certainly see. We'll see what happens. Because I don't know. I don't know. In my life, a lot of things that I think are going to happen a certain way don't happen that way. And in that sense, anything can happen. So, who's to say what the future holds, you know? Who's to say what the future holds for me? Era says, if it's in the cards for you then, it'll be a good addition. Which breed? That is a stream secret. Well, I'm not really sure whether I'm gonna reveal it yet. I can reveal it privately. But I'm not sure whether or not I want to reveal it on stream just yet. I'm thinking I might also post about it on the social medias, which might also make me very identifiable. If you see me walking around a very specific dog, you'll be like, oh, that's Taku. And I'll be like, no, no, no. I've been found. So I think I might reveal more about the dog privately, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Want to see the dog first. Want to have the dog in my hands. I will say, the dog is on, like, the hairier side. And I'm kind of, like, thinking to myself, like, do I really... How often should I bathe a dog? Appy says, Taku gotta go. GG, good stream. Good night, chat. Good night, Appy. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night to Mr. Appleson. But, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like, how often should I bathe a dog, you know? Because being that the dog is on the hairier side, should I guess I think of it like peeing and pooping, and I'm kind of like, some of that's bound to get in the dog's fur, and then the dog's gonna like walk around the house and laze around on the couch, and now everything is kind of like indirectly covered in like pee and poop, you know. And in that way, I'm kind of like icked, but my thought is like bathe the dog every weekend, once a week. My mom was thinking like every other week, but I'm not sure what the realistic thing is. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Good grief, man. Okay, well, I guess my house is gonna smell like dog. Because apparently... it's supposed to be, like, roughly every, like... 6 to 8 weeks. Which is kind of whack, in my opinion. Like, you're telling me my dog's only gonna be bathed, like, what? Every 2 months? 6 times a year? That's insane. That's actually nutty. I don't know. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Or maybe I'll just get used to everything smelling like piss. I don't know. Apparently the rule of thumb is when they stink, but it's like, I don't know if I agree with that. Just because they don't stink doesn't mean they're clean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So. I don't know. Anyways. So things are getting done. Getting done very well. Okay. What are we gonna do this weekend? Honestly, this weekend, I'm gonna say kind of early, but we might have to cancel stream this weekend. I'm gonna try to keep it going, so if I can, I will. However, there's impending weather concerns. There's impending weather concerns where I live, and I might lose power. And if I were to lose power, that would not be good for my... Oops. Wait, no, I can keep that. If I were to lose power, it would not be good for my stream setup. To, you know, have my power fluctuate. So. Okay, I think I can redo these now. This should be done. We'll deconstruct. Plumbing, deconstruct liquid pipes. Here. Here. And then we'll take all the polluted water out of here. Put it in here. Excellent, excellent. Oh, and then I guess this can get deconstructed too. This is not really necessary anymore. Rubber gasket, baby! What did I... Shoot. Hold on. I forgot this was gonna explode everywhere. Well, the good news is that now we can put it inside of the bottle drainer. So, the bottle drainer now has supplies. That's a big dub. The oxygen's not really going anywhere, but... Is this even working? Stefan says, me just lurking. I appreciate you, Stefan. Thanks for lurking with us. I appreciate you very much, Mr. Stefan. Damn it. No! Stop leaking everywhere, damn it. Oh, yep. And now there's polluted water in my stuff. Cool. Can I mop that? And only that? I can. Interesting. Higby, what the hell are you doing? Yep, you can. Thank you, Brave. Brave, what's for lunch? What'd you get to eat? I knew it was Brave mealtime. As long as not too much. Yeah, just a little bit. Got a burger from Burger King. All right. Nice, nice. Oh, yep, see? Got rid of the polluted water. Problem solved. Like nothing ever happened. Nice, nice, yes. Very nice. Burger. Man, a burger would be pretty good right about now, too. I know I just had curry, but... a burger would be pretty good right about now. Alright. Between all of the fast food places, what is your favorite burger? I will say I'm the most likely to go to McDonald's, but McDonald's is not the best burger. I kind of like Jollibee chicken sandwiches, but that's not really a burger though. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that answer. That's a stupid answer. I really like Five Guys. The bacon cheeseburger, that's my go-to all the way with jalapenos. Pretty good. Brave says chicken, burger, cheese, fries, ice cream. And the ice cream? Nice, nice. Favorite burger, I guess, mozzarella from Burger King? Mozzarella? I mean, I guess I haven't been to Burger King in a really long time, but they have mozzarella? Mozzarella burger? A mozzarella burger? Ever says, it really depends on your mood, but mushroom Swiss burger from Jack in the Box. Oh! I like the way you think, Error. I like the way you think. I agree. Mushroom Swiss burger. That is a good choice, I gotta say. That is a pretty good choice. Mushroom Swiss burger. Delicious. You know, what? I was wondering why I wasn't getting a notification about the oxygen generation, but like... What? There is carbon, but there's also chlorine down here. Hold on. So the chlorine gas. So chlorine Okay, we're not using a rust deoxidizer, so that doesn't count. And I don't think there's any bleach stones around, so that doesn't make sense. No megafrons. It's gotta be bleach stone, but that doesn't make sense. I think the game just calculates production compared to dupe consumption, doesn't need to spread properly. The chlorine? I know it comes from bleach stone, but the oxygen? Oh. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm just gonna leave the chlorine problem. I don't care enough. It's fine. It'll be fine, probably. So, Brave says, we have that here. Don't know about there. And I like how comically tall your storage tower is. All the way to the sky, baby. All the way to the sky. But yeah, it is kind of tall. But the green gas probably comes from above you. Above? That... Oh, actually... No, you're right. Damn. You got a point. Probably came from here. I probably tunneled into it and then it just fell. Okay, well. We'll... Oops, we'll fix that. We have solved the mystery. Solved the mystery. That's not really like a real pressing matter, though, because... There's not... Well, I mean, it's kind of pressing up here, but... For the most part, there's not really a lot of reason for anybody to be over here, so... It doesn't matter a whole lot to me, but... In an ideal world, we would be good to take care of that. Could filter the gas. Where's my gas stuff? So we didn't make the gas reservoir. You know, it actually might be a good thing to have gotten that chlorine. Because with the chlorine, I know some gases... Some things will only grow in chlorine. Like the balm lily only grows in chlorine gas. And in that way, it might be kind of beneficial to have the chlorine. And then I could make another one down here, just for chlorine. It seems like it only uses chlorine, though. High internal temperature, which this is not. And chlorine gas. You know, if it needs to be really hot, we could put it in here. It's not really ideal, though. But did you tank all the clean water you have? Just about. I mean, it's still... We're still working on it, but... Right now, yeah, that's kind of where we're going. That is what we're on track to do. We're not all the way there yet, but we are on track. Currently, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to assign. Because I know it's hot right here. Oh, more chlorine, actually. So once again, chlorine comes from... bleach stone. What? Bleach stone. Dude, I gotta piss, man. Brave says the dedication. I think it's good to do that. I'm not sure. I can't be asked to do that. Also, how come you keep getting a base close to a steam vent? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to get them to slowly dig this out so that I can wall it off and see what's in there, but I'm not really sure why things keep getting set up this way. It is quite strange. It is quite the conundrum, truly. I don't really know what's causing this. But the good news is that, I mean, hey, we've got things growing, we've got a good amount of food, we've got a good amount of oxygen. Disregard the chlorine and the carbon, but got a good amount of oxygen going, you know? Generally, things are looking pretty good, I think. Once all the water is taken out of here, I'm gonna put a little vent right here so that it goes... Or a little air tile right here so that the carbon leaks out and goes down here. Oh shoot, poor guys. I'm digging out their only home. How sad. I don't think we have any other, like, water. We have that, I guess, but... Nah, I'll worry about that later. And then we have ice down there. We could go lower, actually. Maybe the real trick to solving my problems is just going lower. A lum. Brave's hated lum. The one Brave wants to kill all the time. Oh, barbecue. Let's make some gristleberries too. Actually, wait. Let's... We're slowly losing food. You know what? Yeah, never mind. Just make gristleberries. That's fine. Dig for rock and stone. You got the dino back again? Can you imagine being Brave and just hating this dino? The cutest dino. Tiny baby. And Brave's like, no, no, no! Kill it, kill it! Tiny baby. But we'll dig a little further. We'll see what's down here. Gravitas pedestal. Computer desk. The computer was wiped almost completely clean, except for one file hidden in the recycle bin. Cool. One intact document remains, an old yellowing newspaper clipping. It won't be of much use, but I add it to my database nonetheless. That's a lot of words. Error says, what did that dino ever do to you? It's just a baby. Just a baby. Tiny. It literally has the little info thing that says tiny baby on it, see? Literally says tiny baby. Brave says, I don't like the sounds it makes. I can't help it. And to Brave's credit, it does make... Its roar is almost exactly the same sound as a duplicate dying. Or it's pretty close to the sound of a duplicate dying, so I can understand. It is a tiny baby, but I understand. Tiny baby. Heavy duty generator, hold on. Is this? Oh, it is. It is under category heavy duty generator. I don't like how this is laid out, but since we're not using these, I'm gonna get rid of one. Right now we're doing good, and then I'll make a generator room, and then I'll do some tune-ups. I haven't tried the tune-up thing yet, so this would be a great opportunity. A great learning opportunity right here to learn how the tune-ups work. There we go. A great learning opportunity indeed. Hold on. Germ killing in gaseous state. Interesting. Era says, "Aw, but that's understandable, Brave." Quite understandable. Indubitably. Indubitably. Excuse me. Okay, these just need water. Okay. I am getting a little bit nervous about the water thing, but we have a lot in the reservoirs, so I'll have to fix that later, but as things stand right now, looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. Oh, I feel so bad. They're like the beacons. So sad. Miserable. They feast on phosphorite and starnicle, excrete lime. Which is crazy because, well, we don't really have... I don't want to be using phosphorite, I don't know what a starnicle is, and I don't know what I'm going to do with lime, so... Honestly, if we could just kill them for food, I think that'd be easiest. I feel bad about it, but we'll just kill them. They're gonna die anyways, we might as well just take the food out of it, you know? If they're gonna die anyways, we might as well just take the food. Cook seafood. Brave says, by the way, what happened to the previous one? Did you eat it? The dino, yeah. Or at least, I think I tried. I don't know if I got any food out of it, but I did try to kill it. That was when we were at the peak of starvation. I had killed it. Alas, I did what I had to. What was that thing Thanos says? Something requires the greatest... The hardest choices require the strongest wills, or something like that. Brave says nice. Yes, kill it, yes. Brave's dreams are coming true. Killing the poor, defenseless lum. There you go. Ah, man. My wrist is cramping. Oh, do you hear that? That was the sound of me flicking my wrist. That may have sounded like a knuckle cracking. It was my wrist. So. Thankfully, it didn't hurt. But it was loud. The heck? Have you guys done that before? I've done that a few times. I wouldn't recommend doing it because I do it a very specific way that's like safe for me. But I don't really want you guys to be doing it and like break your wrist or something. But what I do is I loosen my wrist and then I like flick it real quick, and then that's what causes my wrist to make that noise. Kind of refreshing, kind of deranged. Could go either way, really. The mic picked the snap up. Excellent, excellent. Good, good, yes. Yes, good, yes. This power overlay we will deconstruct here. And then this should officially be a generator room, I think. Well, once this is closed, we'll have a better idea. Right now it says it's 3,373 tiles large, but it's not enclosed yet. Oh, we need reed fiber. Oh no, we have. Okay. Excellent, excellent, yes, excellent. Okay, so now it is considered a power plant. Enables microchip tune-ups on heavy-duty generators. So, I don't know how to do that yet. Now that that's walled off and I don't need to worry about that for a bit, I think... I don't know what this is, though. This door's locked. Ideally, the research room would also be on that side, since this would also generate heat. Speaking of which, the center is getting kind of hot. Oh, that... I'm getting distracted. So, the intention was that this gas vent here, that outputs all the contents. So I was thinking of moving this pipe all the way up, right? It gets up here where the temperature is like, well, up here, ideally, where the temperature is like negative. And then it gets piped all the way back down, and then I just release it in the center so that the cold air is constantly going in the center, right? That's what I wanted to do, but as you can see, there's a hidden vent here, and there's another hidden vent here, or vent or geyser or something. So I'm trying to figure that out, and then in the process of trying to figure that out, I got distracted. So we'll have to see. It's tough, man. But we have two hidden vents, and they're exactly in my way. This one is in the way, and this one is in the way. It's stopping me from going, like, straight up to do the vent stuff. I could go more in the center, but it's not very aesthetically pleasing, to say the least. But, I mean, we could do it. It's not out of the question, but... I think we also need to make insulated gas. Insulated gas pipes, which is this one. So, oh, we can go straight there. Nice. Okay, well, that'll be the next research project, I guess. You shall not destroy the vents, says the game. Watch me! I would like it to go straight through this neutronium thing, but I know I can't do that, so I don't think I can. No, yeah, you can't. So I could just, like, swerve around it, but even then, that's kind of weird, right? And if I do decide to open these eventually, whatever's in there might also affect the temperature, which is what I'm kind of worried about. But I will say, though, nobody tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I did notice that these are kind of like light blue, and I'm not really sure whether or not, like, maybe it's a cool steam vent or something. Cold air. Here's hoping, but I'm gonna be really safe about it before I undo it. Before I dig it out, I want to make sure that it's, you know, safe. So let's get that done, actually. But neutronium is the immortal object the game makes. You know, game object stuff. Yes, yes. Truly immortal stuff, yes. Why is Hassan so upset? Hassan, what? What's happening with you? Yucky lungs. Soggy feet, yucky lungs. He'll be fine. He'll walk it off. He'll be fine. Did we research a water cooler? We did. I'll just put that right here. Just a little something something. Something to take the edge off. You know? Oh shoot. I didn't realize these were full. We gotta prioritize that too. Damn it. It did not occur to me that those were full. So let's fix that too. Damn, I'm having them work really hard on this now, but this is not super necessary anymore. You know, what I should have done is move the ladder closer. I just want that to get done as soon as possible. I don't think anything's really pressing right now, so they can afford to screw around for a little. Actually, does the airflow blocks liquid flow without obstructing gas? I think this would actually be pretty good right here. We can cancel that. We'll just... That way, at the very least, we can drain the carbon out from the bottom. Ever so slowly, but... Let's prioritize that too. So at least it's breathable down there, you know? Just breathable things. Then we'll quickly explore what this is, and then we'll patch it up. Oh, I'm actually a little over time. Well, I started late, though. So... Things are moving again. Okay. I need to fix the oxygen over here. Down here is just fine, but I need to fix it up here. I'm gonna put a gas vent right here and see if that maybe fixes it. I want as little downtime as possible. I'll set it up like that. Alright. What a productive stream, guys. What a productive stream. So... trying to find a good break point, but as we wrap things up for the night, I I just want to go over my schedule for the rest of this week. Just blasting you guys with it. So, Friday is still planned to be the Division 2. That is open invite. So anybody that would like to join, you are more than welcome to join. First come, first served. And this weekend is up in the air. The current plan is Lego Batman. However, there's a bit of a weather situation that's currently developing with where I live. And being that the weather situation might knock out power for me, if it gets really bad, I might have to cancel stream this weekend. Saturday and or Sunday. Of course, Discord is the best place to keep up to date with that kind of thing. I'll be sure to update you guys when I know for sure that it's going to be canceled, that I'll have to cancel stream, then I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, we'll keep the plans for Lego Batman for this weekend. Probably Saturday and Sunday. And then next week is still up in the air. We should be back to business as usual. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So business as usual. Nothing too crazy. What we play is up in the air, but I'll be here. So, or I plan to be here. And I think everything's good. We're actually really stable, weirdly enough. I'm really surprised with the stuff that we got done today. Things are looking pretty good. I thought we would be on the brink of failure, but we've managed to avoid that. So, but Error says, sounds like planned. Hopefully nothing bad happens. I hope not. But I will keep you guys updated. So if something bad does happen, you'll definitely hear about it if I'm still alive. So things are at the beginning of the week, it was considered a potential for a tropical cyclone. And now we've hit a point where it is the potential for a hurricane. And it's only becoming stronger. So, yikes. Anyways, but under the assumption I'm still alive, I'll keep you guys updated on what happens. Yeah. The dino grew up. No, cannot! No! But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. We'll figure it out. It's all good. Anyways, this is really stable. I think it's a good break point, and I need to start getting ready for bed. And did you name the... Can we name the dino baby? I don't think you can. We'll name him Error 2. And hopefully we won't have to kill him for meat. But Brave says, thanks for stream. Thank you, Brave. Thanks for joining us today. You can name the dupes, though. Not the llama. You can name the dupes. Oh. Vol pup or lettuce? Lettuce, obviously. I don't know what a vol does. Anyways, alright. On that note, it's about that time. Thank you guys for joining me today. It was a wonderful stream. Thanks to all of you, so thank you for joining me. Error. Brave. Happy. Alistor. I think Alistor knocked out. Alistor. Stefan. Suma. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you to Posum for the follow as well. Thank you. And thank you to any lurkers out there. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to check to see real quick if there's anybody we can raid. We can raid Luden. You guys want to raid over to Luden? Alright. Feel free to join me for the raid if you feel so inclined. But I will be going to bed. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll catch you guys on Friday for the Division 2. Unless the hurricane hits. But yeah, have a wonderful night, everybody. Good night.